If this movie somehow doesn't win Best Animated Feature at next year's Oscars, I will get a full back tattoo of Morbius playing hopscotch with Venom, and I kinda hope it happens. What's up, guys? I'm Sully, and today I'm super excited because we finally get to talk about the newest animated superhero movie, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And everybody saw the first film, right? So you kind of know what to expect here, but the story for this one goes like this. Miles Morales catapults across the multiverse where he encounters a team of spider people charged with protecting its very existence. When the heroes clash on how to handle a new threat, Miles must redefine what it means to be a hero. I feel like when you're talking about this movie, you first need to touch on the visual style and the animation, and I feel like both of those this time around are some of the best that I have ever seen put to screen. That first Spider-Verse movie had such a signature flair and look to it. I mean, how many movies in the past couple years have we heard looks like Spider-Verse when describing it? But they really go absolutely balls to the wall with this one. Not only do they continue to nail the look that we're used to, but they mix so many different styles and mediums that it's kind of mind-blowing. The visuals alone will keep you entertained during this movie. And keeping with things that left me super entertained, there are tons of MCU references in here, but they go by so fast that if you blink, you'll miss them, which is exactly how I wanted that to go. Everything is fair game here, but the story doesn't rely on plot devices, other MCU films, or Easter eggs. There are loads of details in here that will enrich the story they're telling, but it doesn't make it feel cheap, and you're not left with your head spinning if you haven't seen every Marvel or Spider-Man movie. And this might be triggering for some people, so I apologize in advance, but I feel like this film gave me everything that Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness promised me but didn't deliver on. I mean, that movie should have been called Doctor Strange and the Multiversal Tease, because that's all that was. But this movie, I mean, we see a ton of different realities. We see the people pulling the strings. We see a shit ton of Spider-Men. And it was also carefully done, and it didn't feel like they were throwing stuff at us just for fan service reasons, and it really worked because it actually expanded upon the story they were trying to tell. And keeping with that theme, this one surprised me a bit in the best way possible when it came to the story. I feel like after what they gave us with the first movie, it was hard to go into this one expecting anything other than solely a Miles Morales-centered story, and we still get that. But this time around, it is just as much Gwen's story. And I didn't really know where they were going with that at the beginning, but it ends up being super compelling and emotional. And of course, all of that is elevated by the consistently great vocal performances by this cast. Shameik Moore, Haley Steinfeld, and Jake Johnson continue to embody these characters really well. And then you switch over to the more antagonist-like characters of the movie. Jason Schwartzman as the Spot is an awesome villain. Oscar Isaac as Miguel O'Hara or Spider-Man 2099 is an awesome villain. Even though he's technically not a quote-unquote bad guy, he's still a completely formidable force to be reckoned with, and he's not going to let anyone get in the way of the rules he's in charge of enforcing. So he's not too fond of Miles Morales. Even though going into this movie we know it's a part one of the larger story and finale, it doesn't feel like it stops abruptly and you're being shortchanged at all. There's definitely a cliffhanger at the end that will have you fired up to see what happens next, but it still tells a complete story. We just know there's more to come. I feel like I have to go out and say that after experiencing one of the most jarring and ridiculous movie endings ever with Fast 10. It was almost like they lost the last 20 minutes of footage, so they just said, to be continued? But that ain't the case here, thank God. I'm just so happy they nailed this, dude. I mean, this movie was pretty much on everybody's most anticipated of the year list. It feels so good when there's something like this you've been waiting for years for, and they just knock it out of the park. I had the same feeling about Dune, Top Gun Maverick, John Wick Chapter 4, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I still have my little tiny nitpicks about this movie, but by far the worst thing about it is that we have to wait to see how it all ends. I need to know now. I need to know right now. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse gets a Sully score of 4.5 stars. So that's my review of the new Spider-Verse movie. If this trilogy really wants to win me over, they'll make the next villain Kangaroo. Look him up, I know you'll agree. But let me know in the comments below, are you gonna go check this one out, or have you already seen it? Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys at the next one.